Okay, so episode 4 of Road to the Title Season 3 is in the books, and today I'm going to go over the Angel Merrill versus Alexander Safarov fight. I apologize if I sound a little bit tired, that's because I am, but I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get to these in the next couple days, so I just want to get these done. But yeah, with that said, this was a dope fight. This was a really dope fight. In a lot of ways, we needed this fight. Last week's episode wasn't the best, and the fights definitely weren't the best. So, yeah, I really needed a bounce back week, and this one definitely delivered. We'll start with some broad notes about the fight. I mean, dude, this was literally a perfect fight. It was a perfect fight, and these are rare because what I mean by that is, so the fighters fought great and gave perfect effort. So perfect from the fighters. The refs did perfect, so they got the calls right. They didn't miscall anything. And then the judges got it right. So the judges got it perfect. And so that's what I call a perfect fight, and they're just rare. So you really have to appreciate them when they do come around. And this was one of them. So we'll start with Alexander. So I believe he's from Dagestan. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they said he was from Dagestan, which is in Russia, and I believe that's also where Khabib and Islam are from. If you don't know, those are two of the best UFC fighters. Khabib is retired, but some consider him the best of all time. And then Islam's the reigning 155 champion. So there's a lot of crazy good fighters and wrestlers that come out of that area. They're just built different. You might have seen like videos online of dudes in Russia wrestling bears. Like that's what they do. Like these dudes are just built different. They're a different breed. And so when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, man. I mean, they didn't say he had really like striking experience, but those, again, they're just built different. And so at the very least, you knew he was going to be tough as fuck. So yeah, off the bat, I was like, damn, this kid, he looks good. And then Angel was a kid from Cali. He was honestly super misleading, man. Like he doesn't really look like a crazy athlete, and he didn't even look big for the weight class. So it was, honestly, I wasn't really sure what to think of him coming in. He did kind of look like he could take a slap, so I had a feeling that he would have a sneaky good chin. But I wasn't sure about his striking, but man, did he prove me wrong. About him, so he didn't really have the like most perfect windup. Like it wasn't even the cleanest as far as the windup goes, but he just proved to be so accurate, and he didn't look crazy powerful either. So, but his placement was just crazy. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but yeah. Anyway, so Angel won the toss, and he was slapping first, and it was a really good slap. It stumbled Alexander a little bit, and it was super clean. I mean, I was impressed with this kid's striking, as I just mentioned. He was very accurate, and his like wind-up didn't even look all that great, but he was just able to place it so well. And yeah, so it was a great slap, and Alexander ate it. The crazy thing about Alexander is, I swear, and like, please drop a comment if you agree, but like, did anybody else see that he literally, like, he doesn't have a chin? Like, there's no chin to hit on that kid. I don't even know how it's physically possible to have less of a chin. I mean, in theory, he has an amazing chin, like a figure of speech. Like, he was able to eat shots. So impressed with that guy's chin. But in reality, as far as like actual physical touch, like there wasn't much there. So it was even more impressive by Angel to be able to consistently land clean slaps when the target is so small. But yeah, anyway, so it was a great slap by Angel, and Alex ate it. And then on Alex's first slap, Angel flinched, and it was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad flinch. He like dropped right when the strike was coming. So he was like positioned slow, like steady, and then like right when the strike was coming, he dropped his head straight down. So yeah, it was a bad flinch. And then on the second slap by Alexander, the second slap of the first round, it was a great slap. And Angel, there was a little more movement. There was like still some movement by Angel, but it was on the first windup. And so like when he was doing his first windup, Angel kind of flinched a little bit, and then they were like, hold still, don't flinch. And he was actually, credit to him, because he was able to pull it together like mid windup and avoid the double flinch call. I was very impressed with Angel's chin. That kid can take a shot, man. But I was a little nervous at first because the movement was quite noticeable, and the fact that there was some on the second slap was not a good sign. But luckily for him, he was able to put it together. Yeah. So in the first round, they didn't actually take a point from Angel for flinching, so it was just a warning. So Angel at the end said like if he didn't flinch, he would have won. So I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because if they didn't take a point, I mean, I had that round as a draw. So I guess it's possible that you could give it to Angel, but I don't think that the flinch, he didn't lose a point, so I don't think that the flinch actually would have made or break the round for him. I mean, optically it looks pretty bad for the judges, so maybe in theory, saying it back out loud, I might change my mind, but yeah. Anyway, super close round. And then on Angel's second slap, dude, this was amazing. This was an amazing strike. It knocked him down. Again, his windup didn't look like anything crazy. Like, it really looked kind of all over the place. But he was just able to tie that shit together before he landed. And he was just super accurate, man. Even Dana said, like, that's one of the cleanest slaps he's ever seen. It really was. It was an amazing slap. One of the best of the show, like, of the season so far. As far as, like, placement and how clean it was. Again, this guy had no chin. Absolutely no chin. So I don't even know what he was swinging at, but he was landing clean. And it was a great recovery by Alexander, because he had knocked him down. And, so there's a couple things I want to say about this. So, first of all, Alexander was doing some crazy friggin' split when he was on the ground, man. Go back and watch that. Like, this guy is flexible, dude. He was doing some crazy split. But he was able to just, like, bounce back up like it was, like, some sort of dance move. I mean, this kid, he's a true athlete. And it was a great recovery. And then, dude, shout out to Herzog, man. Herzog's, like, my favorite ref, because, like, the guy literally, he was, like, walked to me, and the guy took, like, one step. And, like, you couldn't even tell if he was straight or not. And he was like, fighters recovered. I mean, I love it. I love tending to let it go if it's close, because these guys want to be there, and that's what they signed up for. So I love it by Herzog, but I did think it was super generous, and it's mad funny when it does happen. But shout out to Herzog. And then on Alexander's second slap, he went on 2 instead of 1, and it was a good slap. It clearly hurt Angel, but he was able to eat it with like a groan. But I believe it opened him up, and that's really where so Angel ended up getting a crazy hematoma. I think that's, I might have butchered that, but hematoma or something like that. And it's like kind of like what Wesley Drain had, where the side of your face just completely swells up. And so Angel ended up getting that, and this was really where that started to happen. It like, even like the slap was so good that it like literally cut open his cheek. That's how. And the thing that was so impressive about Alexander too is that he got the hematoma on the side of his cheek, which is exactly the range where you want to be. So it just showed that he was repeatedly landing clean. This was a very high level match by both guys. But yeah, you could clearly tell that it hurt Angel, and opened him up. And then on Angel's third slap, it was amazing again. It knocked him down. Huge groan by Alexander, but it was another great recovery and another quick to let it go by my man Herzog. I'm going to start calling him Herdog, because that's my dog. But anyway, yeah, it was an amazing slap by Angel on the third slap. And then on Alexander's third slap, I mean, holy shit, dude. Holy shit, that was a great slap. Right on 2 again. And I think that definitely, shout out to Trujillo, because he actually said something. And shout out to your boy, because I just continue to say right on 2. And that, I think it's the most effective. And I mean, I think Alexander helped prove your boy right. I mean, I'm pretty sure he switched to right on 2 on his last 2 slaps, and they were both the better shots. So, but anyway, yeah, it was a great shot, and it knocked Angel down. So man, this was such a close fight. Like, this was so close. You could have scored it basically any way possible, and including a draw, and you'd be absolutely correct. There's really, like, even the scoring, I don't even think there's like a way you can get this fight wrong. If you said it one way or the other, it's close. But I could see it. Or, I mean, again, I think this was a perfect fight, so I think the judges got it perfect. I think it was a draw. I had it as a draw too, and we'll go over it. But yeah, so the first round, I mean, they didn't take a point away from Angel. It was just a warning. So you really, like, it's not like he got a clubbing foul and it's like an automatic loss. Like, I really think that if you go back and watch the strikes and the damage and how they took the slap, which is the exact criteria for how to judge a round, I mean, it was even. There was no winner. So I had that round as a draw. In the second round, I gave it to Angel, but again, it was super close. And then the third round, I gave 10-9 to Alex. So that's a draw. That's how I saw it. I thought the judges got it perfect. Drop a comment if you disagree, but again, I just think they got it perfect. There were a couple of topics that I've heard. So first of all, Power Slap didn't do a good job of saying like what happened. So Angel's obviously not able to continue anymore because he had a massive hematoma. There's no way he would get sanctioned to fight again on the show. So I'm pretty sure he just went home. They might have let him stay. I don't even think that they said what they did with him, but I think he goes home. And I think Alexander goes into the house, even though it was a draw. But unless I missed it, which I don't think I did, I don't believe they said anything. For Angel, I mean, dude, you will 1,000,000% see that kid again. He was beyond impressive. He has a chin. He has power. I mean, this was a breakout performance for him, to be honest. And this just goes to show, like, if you fight hard and you show like, even in a draw, you can come out looking like a winner, straight up. There's a 0% chance you don't see him again. Straight up. I can't wait to see him again. Dude's a warrior. And then also, I heard on Slap News, I was watching like the after show, and yes, I still watch them even though they blocked me on Instagram because I like some of the content. But they were talking about, so Alexander had a cornerman and Trujillo because obviously he doesn't speak English, and they were asking if that was an advantage. And I thought that was an interesting point. And I think the answer is it depends. So who is that dude? Straight up, like, who is that extra cornerman? Is he just a translator, or is he like some sort of a coach? Is he knowledgeable about Power Slap? Because he could be saying something to him, and unless somebody else that works for the commission or for Power Slap knows like Russian or whatever they speak, which I doubt they do if they have a translator, he could just be coaching them up the whole time and we wouldn't even know. So if he is some sort of a coach or knowledgeable about it, I definitely think it is an advantage to have an extra set of eyes. But if he's just some random translator that doesn't really know anything and he's truly just translating, then it doesn't really make much of a difference. It's not like he was catching them. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting point. But yeah, overall, this was a super high level fight. I really enjoyed this. And so shout out to both guys. If you guys listen, good scrap. Hope to see more of this. And yeah, I'll get to the other two, but wanted to go over this one because I especially thought this one was dope.